This Hillary blasted me. I love it. My polls went up after she blasted me. Last time she blasted me a few months ago, she looks at the teleprompter, Sheriff Arpaio. She can't even pronounce my name right. This time she had it right. Boy, she was hitting me. But that's an honor. Hey, it's okay. So, I used to live in this neighborhood. I lived down at 67th. How do you know? No, I was on Sharon. Sharon Drive.
Close to Sacramento.
I used to go to that church. Now I moved to Fountain Hills. That's where we had a great rally for Trump. That's where we had to lock up a few people to get in there. No wonder they're all after me. Never had any problems until I started enforcing this illegal immigration law. I've been sheriff 24 years. I had a great time. Now I got the feds after me. What's this guy, George Soros? He just bought $2.5 million against me. Why does he care about the sheriff? What am I? I'm just $2.5 million. I don't care. He wants to jump it up. Let him do it. I tell everybody he's wasting his money and go back where he came from. $2.5 million Romanians. It's all a vampire. Right. Bloodsuckers. He's after my blood. But I'm Italian. He's not going to get my blood.
Italians for Trump.
So, what am I supposed to do? Warm up the crowd? Is this a bar load?
It wasn't before. We've been waiting a long time, so after you're done, we'll go to the bar.
We've been entertaining for 2 hours. What? We've been entertaining for the last 2 hours.
I'm the sheriff. I'm also a comedian. I also can sing. So I did it my way. My wife hates that song. You know why? It starts out, and now the end is near. There's an article on me in the headlines today, and it says, the sheriff does it his way. Of course, then they start blasting me as they read the article. I like that headline. No, the sheriff does it his way, that's all right. But I do it the way it should be done. I do it the way of the people. So I was with Trump from day one.
He was.
I never knew the guy. I knew he had a casino. I worked Vegas. I was a cop there. But that's before he was born. No, actually, we were born on the same day. I was born June. Wait a minute. Where's the kids? Don't get that Mickey Mouse, what do you call it, iPad? Don't look at that. Okay, I want my age. I was born June 14, 1932. How old are you?
Wow.
See, these kids can. How old you machine? 1932.
Hey. Trump,
If anybody doesn't believe me,
June 14, 1946. Thank you. June 14, 1946. The Trump. June 14, 1946. Trump. He's 70 years old.
I never give my age only in Sun City. I don't do it in this place. Wisconsin. Only Sun City do I give my age. So, well, you know how old I am? Wow,
She's a school teacher.
well, you're a teacher?
You have a question back there?
Where?
I would like to ask you.
Sheriff Joe, could you please tell us your birth story about your mom? Please?
Did I say that? No, I gave my story about my wife with Trump. The time you know, I'm 84. Don't hold that Why, you thought it was 70?
We thought you were 60.
The Italian olive oil. They drink it, don't put it on your face.
And my webpage is 70 minutes interview.
Yeah, I will tell you.
I interviewed him 2 hours.
It's sad. Sad. Now, I'm a big right to life to begin with, okay? I'm not ashamed to say it. And, you know, at least Trump comes out and says it. Everybody else, they play defense. At least Trump says it. Why would you say do something you don't say it? People can forgive or they can respect your opinion. Isn't this America? Huh? You do it in a nice way. Anyway, my mother and father came from Italy, 1916, and through Ellis Island. And my mother, and I was born on Flag Day. So the doctor said to my mother, you have to have an abortion or you will die. She refused, so I'm here. That's why when I look at that flag, it goes a little deeper sometimes, you know what I mean? So, but I hate people that burn the flag. I was speaking at the convention, Republican. Outside they were burning our flag. Nobody will do anything. Then you got this football guy, the third stringer that works for San Francisco. They ought to send him to China, let him play for the Chinese league. So he refused to stand up. So I have veterans in jail, unfortunately, but I treat them a little different. I put them all in a nice room. They paint the walls red, white, and blue. On my birthday, I always go and spend the day with the veterans. On my birthday, I deviate from my food menu. You know, I took away all their meat. They're all vegetarian. So, only the dogs in jail eat the meat, really. Now, that may be harsh, but no, it isn't. Vegetarian is good for you. So, I go in with the veterans. So when this guy, this football guy, I don't know, Kaepernick or something like that. So when he did this, all the veterans, I had them out in the tents. They all stood up for the national anthem. They put their hands on the heart. And it was very dramatic and sad. Here we have people in jail that will stand up for America and stand up for the national anthem. And then we got these rich, and by the way, I'm a human too. I think I have freedom of speech. So I have a right to speak out. So maybe I'm not speaking as the sheriff, although why not? I don't care.
Right.
So this is sad. I was born on that day. And I told you about my mother, and you see people burning our flag. To me, it's awful. And nobody will do anything. You can't do it. I put flags in every cell 12 years ago. We make them sing national anthem and God Bless America. That was 12 years ago. I don't care where they're from. They all sing. They can be from another place, but they're nice enough. They'll sing. Yeah, okay. What?
Is that politically correct?
But when they touch that flag in the cell, screw around with it, everybody says you can't do nothing because you have freedom of speech. You can destroy the American flag. But I got it. That's one lawsuit. I won. When you put the flag on the wall, that's government property. I won that lawsuit. I don't win them all, but I won that. This guy he's from Russia. He's been following me for how many years?
Poland.
Same thing.
Let me tell you guys, I met Joe Arpaio 2 months ago. He gave me opportunity. I cover by my camera K9 dogs when 13 dogs receive bulletproof jacket. And also on my webpage is 70 minutes interview with Joe Arpaio. And finally the interview what I make with him was 2 hours, but I don't want to publish these things because he opened the heart for me, and I don't want CNN. They will be used against to him.
Probably the spy, right?
No.
Wait a minute.
And let's think. I have Joseph M. Arpaio.com domain what I bought for $6 couple months ago, and I going to donate this domain for our sheriff.
Hold on, I'm a publicity hound. I even talked to him.
You're kidding me. I never knew that.
Talking to him. And so I'm a real publicity hound talking to you.
I love you. I love you.
I don't know if you guys know, I want two stories. One, I was at the convention with Joe, and, you know, he didn't bring the security patrol with him, so I was his body double. So I was going to take a bullet for this man. And the other thing, you know, his wife has been ill, and I went to his office about 4 months ago, and he told me a little bit about Donald Trump. And I want you to tell the story how he doesn't call you. He calls Eva.
Well, that's another. You know, I didn't know the guy. I think I just said that. I met him the first time when he came here in July, 16 months.
11.
And I stood next to him, introduced him. It was kind of empty, that stage, in those days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I had a gut feeling that he was it. I was Mitt Romney's honorary campaign chairman, George Bush, you know how that goes. And I say that because I have a little experience hanging around with people running for president. Actually, 4 of them visited my tents several years ago. Bob Dole, remember Bob Dole? Yeah. Oh, they were just visiting, running for president. They were standing next to me. If I'm the president, I'm going to put tents up all over the United States. Then I had McCain, he came through. Then I had Senator Graham, the real good Graham, from Texas, and Governor Wilson. They're all running for president. They come in, stand next to the sheriff, and all. They all lost, of course. Nobody wins when they come in. I try to get Hillary here. The closest I came, I had Jane, what's her name? Sanders. She came. She's in front of the tents. I'm doing a press conference, mobilizing my guns, my posse, and I see she's right down the street in front of the tents with all the media. So I happen to have my uniform on. I walk over. Oh, what are you doing here? I'm looking in your tents. Oh, really? Would you like to visit? She said, well, I said, come on in. I've had other candidates. She didn't know what to say. She was stupid. She agreed to come in. And she comes in there, and it was lucky. It wasn't hot. It was usually 130. It wasn't summertime. She comes in there, starts talking to all the inmates. They're complaining. She's talking to all the media. This sheriff is awful. How hot it is. And I said, our men and women, they're fighting for our country. They're living in tents. So shut your mouth. I said, you know, you're from Burlington, Vermont. Oh, yeah, Bernie and I. And I said, I used to have an office there when I was head of the federal drug enforcement out of Boston. I had an office in Burlington. I said, I love Burlington, Vermont. What I really love, Ducey, I make him angry because he's got this cold stone ice cream. Yeah. I said, I'm a Ben and Jerry guy. They make that in Vermont. So she says, oh, I'm a good friend. The owner. They give us a lot of money, you know, donation. So I said, you know, you hate the weather. Why don't you donate some ice cream to the inmates? They'll love it. Oh, okay. How many inmates you got? I said, about 8,000. So she went, the Democratic Party, and her husband chewed her out. Why did you do this? You got the sheriff more publicity. And then he gets up there, again, that sheriff, Arpaio. Here's what he said. He said, he may have the power now, but when I am president, watch out, Joe. I got the power. So what is this guy, threatening me? What the hell is he talking about? And I said, I don't worry, the guy's never going to be president anyway. So, you know, what's wrong with the tents? They're great. What, 1993, I put those tents up. Korean War tents. So that's okay. But the politics. Now, who asked me the story? You want me to tell the story?
Yeah.
Okay, another sad thing. Since I'm a senior citizen again, as you get older, you think more of your life because you know you don't have forever to go, right? Which, by the way, I'm sticking around. I'll tell you what, if you guys can get me elected Tuesday, I know exactly what I'm going to do because 4 years ago, I did the same thing. I said I'm going down the next day to the county and I am going to file for the next campaign. And I did. I got my word, right? Now next, if you can get me in there, I'm going to go right back down there and I'm going to file to run again in what year was it? So then they'll try to recall me again. Or shoot me, I don't know which is going to be easier. So that's what I'm going to do. And I do this for senior citizens. We don't have any in this room. No. Because there is discrimination against senior citizens. Whether you know it or not, there is. Try to get a job when you're 60. I got a job. But it took all the people to give me that job.
It took a lot of people to get
You think I would have got a job if I didn't have the people hire me? Stupid computers. Once it hits 60 in your computer, it shreds everything. So I'm doing it for the Sun City, for everybody, the senior citizen. And I'm going to keep going. Now, you guys don't remember Raymond Burr? Raymond Burr, Ironside. Remember he had that chair? What do you call it? Wheelchair? On the chair, whatever you. If I have to get, what do you call it? Electric chair? What's a wheelchair? Wheelchair? What? A scooter. You know, when you sit there, it's electric. If I have to get that, I will do it. And I'll get I have a 50 caliber machine gun. Yeah. But also, I took a lot of heat. And Trump, you know one thing? I got to get to the wife. Yes. So, anyway, I've been married 59 years, going on 60. And I married her late. Married her in Chicago. I met her when I was a cop in Washington, D.C. Then I went to Vegas police, and I went to Chicago to be sworn in as a federal agent. So I married her. And to this day, I've been in Turkey, Mexico City, all over the world as head of the federal drug enforcement, and nobody knows that. Nobody knows my background, but that's okay. So she has never, 59 years, and believe me, I've been lucky because, you know, we do have some separations in marriage. I don't criticize. I've just been lucky. I don't know why she stuck with me for 59 years. But she has never said, how come you're never home? You think more of your job? All you do is work? Never. 59 years. So I worked 14 hours a day. If I had a wife that was, what do you call it, nagging, I'd have to go home, eat at 5 o'clock, and then have to wash the dishes. And I was head of the federal drug enforcement here in Arizona. That's what brought me here. So we opened a business right up the street. That's how I know this area, at Scottsdale and Shea. And it was 1980. And then I retired and joined my wife in business. Worked for my wife for several years. Travel business. I never got a free ticket. So I decided to run for sheriff when I was 60. What was it, 24 years ago? So the wife, so My wife was glued to the television set, and she had diagnosed with cancer just last year. But she was watching Trump. She kind of likes Trump. So I told Donald that. We were here doing a Hannity, and then we went to my hometown for that big rally. So I told him Trump my story. So he says, let me have that phone. So he talks to my wife for 6 minutes. And every time he comes here, he calls my wife. And by the way, I was hooked from day one. He didn't have to go through my wife to get to me. You know what I'm talking about? Some of this works. In fact, I had another guy running for president. I'm not going to mention his name. His wife called me and said, my husband's down at the hotel. Will you come down? He wants your endorsement. So I kind of said, hey, have him call me.
Right.
But not Trump. Trump calls my wife, if you want me to fly you from to New York, I have the 757 down and tomorrow. He never met my wife. The reason I say that, because everybody says he hates all this garbage they put out. That's not true. He said, and then from Fountain Hills, I flew in this big airplane, which was difficult because I had to go to the toilet. And, I go in the bathroom. I see all these gold buttons. I'm pushing this button, that button, trying to flush the toilet. I don't think I still flush the toilet. So I spent an hour and a half sitting next to him in that airplane. So you get to know a guy, because every time I introduce him around the country, you know, quick, he comes in, I introduce him, then he has to talk, then he signs things, and he leaves on his way. So he's a great guy, personal guy, I'm telling you. So it's not like you here. I've been to rallies, I've been a cop for 55 years. So he's a big supporter of police. So I was there when they kicked out the guy, demonstrator, had 2 cops drag him out. Trump says, hey, put him on a stretcher. They made a big deal. It's a rally. You're supposed to talk in a rally, right? Not read a teleprompter. You can't say anything. Look at me. I don't think I said, ooh, I better watch out. We got an election in 3 days. Somebody will say something that I said something wrong. No. So that's the way. In fact, he was late getting on the stage when he was here last month. He was talking to my wife. So I won't forget. I will never forget him for that. You don't forget being the president and all that.
It's a real human story.
We like your TV ad.
Which one? Is it Dr. Zorro? This Dr. Zorro?
Zorro.
I call him Zorro.
That's right.
What was that movie there? The Mark of Zorro. That was it. The Mark. You get any tickets? I wouldn't put them on today. Somebody would probably start shooting them. So, yes.
I'm a former AZ DOC sergeant, and I got in trouble because I'm a guy from Queens. I got a big mouth. Well, we tend to have big mouths from New York.
Good, New York.
But I was responsible for, now, you know how to run the jail system, but the State Department is in shambles. They don't take care of our officers. We're paid nothing. Now this is the state, not Sheriff Joe. This is the state. We're paid nothing. Our vehicles are falling apart. I had spoke up. I was a whistleblower. I spoke up about not being paid overtime. As a result of it, I lost my job, and a year later, the state paid out $2.8 million to all the workers because of me. I got a check for $381. I can't get it.
So why do you come and work for me?
All right, I want to. We all want to.
After the election, because I don't care. I have an open door policy. Any of you guys want to come in and see the tents, talk to the inmates, I don't care. I don't run the CIA operation. I could care less.
Wait, there's more.
You badmouth me? Okay. The media goes after me. It's all right.
We got more.
I'm sorry. What I have a plan It can
Yeah, I'll take that.
It can guarantee you the votes of the Latinos and African Americans in this country. It's a little in depth. I tried to send it out to Mr. Trump. I tried to email him. Maybe you and Mr. Carson could look at it.
He's coming here in a minute.
Dr. Carson. And hopefully, if we win all this, we can all have a wiener roast.
Well, you guys in New York, you know, my face was on Times Square, the biggest elected for 2 weeks, looking down at the mayors. Did you know that? There's a war on cops. You just had another cop killed in New York yesterday. There's a war on cops in this nation. We need Trump to straighten that out because the president started that war. Cambridge, Massachusetts, stuck his nose in a white policeman went after a black professor. And he stuck his nose in there. Why is he sticking his nose in a little crime in Massachusetts? Now every time that they show a video, the Department of Justice is called by the politicians, take the heat off, you know. And they come down here, they convict the cops before the whole story is out. And we got cops killed almost every day in this country. And it should not happen. So if you do something wrong and you can prove it against a cop, okay. But don't hang these guys for political reasons just to make everybody happy in these inner cities that we have in this country. And, you know, I walked a black beat for 4 years in Washington, D.C., one of the toughest beats in America. I got along okay. I had a blackjack and a nightstick. I didn't have machine guns and everything else. And I was never accused of racism. And I locked up a lot of people. I just got out of the Army, 21 years old. You know, everybody, I used to lock people up for spitting on the streets. I was a chicken cop at the beginning. But then you learn, as you get a little older, there is a gray area in the criminal justice system. And that's why I treat people nice in jails, whether you believe it or not. We have great rehabilitation programs that nobody will talk about. But the worst thing facing our nation, Donald Trump brought it out.
Immigration.
No. He wanted that wall. I love the wall. Not because of illegal immigration. I love it to keep the drugs out of our country. All the drugs come from here. That's why I love that. And the terrorists. We got terrorists, I'll tell you that. It isn't just for illegal immigration. All these politicians, I can never, I've been saying it for years, I can never understand why they don't say what I just said, because I'll go down to the chicken fence down there at the border, nothing against politicians, they do their thing, but then they'll have a picture taken. I'm in front of this big fence. We got to keep the illegal immigration out. How come they don't throw in on the side? And by the way, all the drugs come in too. We got to keep the drugs out of our country. They never say that. If they're going to get chewed out for saying illegal immigration, throw the drugs in and they'll be a hero. They don't even think of that. But it's the right thing to do. So I've been 55 years of my life has been dedicated against the drug traffic. All over the world. I'll tell you, and I don't go after the big guys. I like every law enforcement likes to catch the big one, get on TV and all that. I go after the street dealers. They're the ones selling to the kids. They're the ones burglarizing. 55% of people in the jails that I run, drugs. Or drug-related criminal. Think of that. Every time someone shoots up a place or something, oh, well, he has a drug history. It's always a drug history. Whenever you're busted for something, it's a drug. Oh, he was on drugs. You know, he grew up drugs, addicted. Oh, we got to do something about it, but nobody talks about it. Except Donald Trump brought that out in New Hampshire, which I used to cover that area, about the heroin. That heroin I said I'm not a magician, I just use common sense. I said 3 years ago heroin was coming back. Nobody wants to do anything. It's all over our country. So when Donald Trump was in New Hampshire, that was their top priority, was heroin in New Hampshire. They didn't care about immigration and all this stuff. So, what do we
I'm not sure.
well, we got the chairman coming in, the greatest chairman we have.
Hey, so what a great day, huh? To have a guest like Dr. Carson visiting Arizona. Let's hear it for him.